We took part in this election, and I was personally there on polling day as the authorized senior official who was there probably to monitor. I think the election was a sham. It was just rubbish, really. It was not. Really, it was disgraceful. It was a disgrace what happened there. And everybody knows this. And I think including those who conducted it, they know that it was a disgrace. Now, apart from the irregularities, well, we've made a press statement in which we outlined all the irregularities that took place there. But I'll just briefly just summarize some of them. Of course, ballot papers were found in circulation, among people even before voting. And I just got a call today from one of our people in mile 14 who is ready to give me the names of some people who received ballot papers before, that is on the eve of the election. And according to him, 5 ballot papers were given to Paposi and for 100,000. 100,000 was paid and 5 ballot papers given to them. That happened on the eve. But this is just a report I'm having just today. But because we are digging further to know. And that's why we've called for an official investigation into this election. But I'll come to that. So there was this thing about ballot papers around. And interestingly, we found out that in a number of stations there was overvoting. That is, the number of people registered to vote, who registered at the polling station, and the number of ballots issued were correct, coincided, they were the same. But then the number of ballots counted exceeded, the number of ballots that were issued. In one station there were 70 extra ballots. In another station there was 20, another one 20. It was just like that. It was like a free-for-all. So there was this thing about stuffing of ballot papers. But also there's this strange reality. I don't think it's ever happened before, where you have the booklets of ballot papers that were being used in the halls were for different years. One was 2018, the other one was 2019. And we're actually issuing these ballot papers. I personally went to mile 14, the polling center in mile 14, station number 2, where in the presence of the polling center manager, we discovered one of the books that were issued. In fact, half of it had already been issued. Well, not half, but almost half, which were 2018. Now, those ones were illegal. They were wrong. They had enough 2019, but we are using 2018. And the interesting thing is that, do you know that they gave voters these 2018 ballots to vote? They were issued officially to them to vote. And when it came to counting and tallying, those votes were rejected because they were 2018. Therefore, those people who innocently traveled long distances from the village to come and vote, they were cheated of their constitutional rights. They were disenfranchised by the very neck officials who were supposed to be conducting the election. Do you see what I'm talking about? Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. One of the stages of the election process, one of the final stages, is the tallying of the results, so that the results that have been noted in each polling station are brought together and put together on the screen for everybody to see. This has to be done in public. in full view of the public, including the party officials and party agents and observers and so on and so forth. Let me assure you that the tallying process in public was not completed, and yet results were announced. The tallying was not completed because the machine was rejecting the results that were being put in there. It kept rejecting the results. And what we saw after was one of the most dramatic scenes that I think can be seen in any election. Because the Chief Electoral Commissioner and most of the staff, senior staff and others, when the machine kept rejecting the results, they retired into their office and kept us waiting for over 5 hours until 6:15 or so in the morning. So we actually slept in the tallying hall. And when they came back, we were expecting them to continue the tallying, to complete it. The Chief Electoral Commissioner just went ahead and read some results. And that was it. Immediately after reading the result, he bolted out of the room with the security and went home. You see, this is not the first time that people are complaining about the National Electoral Commission. But I can tell you that with the drama that was played in this rerun of the election, the drama that was played, that contained all the scenes that I have described to you, including overstuffing, ballot being around, including the fact that even NEC officials were found to be not just party operatives, but were found to be actually involved. They have been handed over to the police. Are we in voodoo politics or voodoo elections? Wouldn't you be suspicious? With all those things that had preceded, that were noted, and we come to the tallying hall and see that drama, wouldn't you be suspicious? The behavior of the officials were definitely suspicious. They cannot blame me for being suspicious. If they were in my position, they would be suspicious too. They would suspect something foul is happening.
So in this, after all this has happened, what is now the position of the NGC? Are you calling
the position of the NGC is that we have no more trust and confidence in the National Electoral Commission as it is currently constituted. We have no more trust. Somebody has to do something fast. Otherwise, we are all wasting our time. We will not be having elections, we'll just be having charade. Well, we are continuing. First of all, we are waiting. We are hoping that those people who have been apprehended, we are seeing exactly what is going to happen, that they don't disappear into thin air like it used to happen in the other regime, when people will be arrested and then we forget about the case. We are waiting to see what is happening with them. We have just written a letter to the Inspector General to give us an update on the status of their investigation relating to those people. We are going to confront the partners, those people who are spending their money. We are going to confront them to let them know what we feel, and we are considering whether we should continue to take part in elections if the NEC continues to be constituted as it is. I think if they do a poll for all the political parties, I think 60 or 70% will tell you that they don't have trust in the Electoral Commission. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. I think some people are going to resign because they are honorable people. Who knows if there is political interference or not? Who knows? We can only suspect, but you don't know, you know. And it's possible. Or maybe it's not possible. Some people just want to do good, you know. Some people may just want to do something on their own account to please. But the way we saw the configuration of people moving around, and those who had been there 3 or 4 or 5 days ahead, doing things in the bushes with the people. Obviously, we suspect some political interference. It could be, because I know of the work that we did before the elections. I know of the work we did. You could be cheated in many ways. Vote buying, for instance, could be a way you can cheat the NGC. Do you see what I'm saying? The NGC does not have the principle or the policy of buying votes. We convince minds. That's why they say we're a different party. We don't even have the resources to buy votes. So it's possible that that can happen even before they go to the... But we have done our job, we've worked with the people, and we know that the people understand what we're putting across. And we had people who were voters. But anything could have happened between the eve of elections and getting to the polling booth. So you have to study the morphology of rigging. It has so many parts itself and so many ways to function. These are things that you're seeing evolving in everyday life. But the point I'm making is that this is just a microcosm. This is just a little part of the bigger elections to come. And if they could not convincingly conduct a ward election, one ward election, how can we have trust in them to to conduct 440 something ward elections, 132 constituencies plus 1 presidential election? How can you? They cannot even do 1 ward election properly. I think this ward election at Tonko Limba exposed NEC. And whether we would have won or not, that is not the point. The point is the democratic process itself is compromised. And that's what we have been building. It's not necessary for me to have power. But we want to build a democratic process in which people will feel confident that their constitutional rights are protected. So you cannot expect such an important component of that democratic infrastructure like the NEC itself to deal with this process itself in the way they have done, which is the elections. Elections is critical. It is critical. So we think that some kind of confidence, the job now of everybody, government, civil society, international community, the job they have at hand now is to restore confidence among the political parties in general on the NEC. To restore the trust and confidence that we had in NEC. So all of us combined need to do something. You know why? Because it's very important. Because if we go into elections and we have no trust or confidence in the system, the electoral system itself, or those who conduct the elections, then that could lead to catastrophe. It is absolutely important that the level of confidence is high enough to allow for the peaceful conduct of elections.